Happy FriYAY! My name is Shapiro, and in just 2 minutes, we're going to start off another episode of Ask a Traffic Cop, that show on the internet that answers your traffic and police questions so that you know stuff and things, because that's how we roll. We will be talking about lots of things, but this is a show based on you. If you ask questions, you get answers. If you don't, well, you get to sit and hear about what other people want to talk about. If I'm left up to my own devices, I might talk about donuts or movies or both. In any case, let's start this off with an intro that includes Vision Zero Enforcement Team. They are a dedicated group of officers in the city of Toronto that go out and change driver behavior one ticket at a time. That's right, no hugs are issued, tickets only. And today being the 28th of July, they are focusing on Vision Zero in 14 Division and 43 Division. If that does not make any sense to you or doesn't mean anything to you, those are the communities of Christie, Ossington, Annex, Little Italy, Bendale, Woburn, Highland Creek, West Hill, Guildwood. Those are neighborhoods where real people live, work, and play and deserve to be safe. And we announce it every morning, at least where they're going to be focused that day, on our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook pages. So if you don't already follow us there, please do. If you go to voiceovercop.com, actually, if you go to trafficcop.com, that will bring you to a page, which is my link tree. And that link tree will give you access to all those different links. So go there and jump in. Now, if you're watching us on Twitter, you can see us, but we can't see you. In other words, we can't see your questions, and we want to hear from you. So go to trafficcop.ca, and you can click on the link for the YouTube channel. That will give you access to us. And that's how it's supposed to go. So what else can you do in the next 25 seconds to help us out before we help you out? You can follow, like, and subscribe. You can share. You can retweet. Whatever it is on the platform you're watching, it would be much appreciated if you were to do that for us. Why? Because we want to help as many people as possible and be available for you. That's why we're here, because we love you. All right, let's get into things because it's only 5 seconds away. You have that time. You've clicked. You've linked. What have you gotten into the comments and started asking questions? Because, starting the show off with a bunch of questions in queue is a great way to go. And with that, let's start the show. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get it going. I was a little bit behind schedule when it came to hitting that switch and making sure that I was ready. But I'm here. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It is me, Sean Shapiro. Yes, I am the voiceover cop, and I am here to answer questions. That's what I do, Monday to Friday from 10 to 11. But I'm always excited for FriYAYs because it's not only, the beginning of the weekend. That's really what we're celebrating. It's not that we don't like being at work. I love work. But I truly enjoy spending time with family on the weekends, and that's uninterrupted with other things, except occasionally answering your questions, online. Let's see here. I'm adjusting. It's weird. I don't hear myself as loudly. How is the audio level coming through for you? First question of the day, because I noticed in the playback that it was not terribly loud, and I want it to be as loud as the intro. The intro is loud because I make sure that's the proper levels, but the stream seems to be a little low. Anyway, let me know. I will adjust as I can. I can put the audio output a little bit higher if it makes sense for you. If you are watching and don't know that you had or didn't know that you had options, we are currently broadcasting on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and Twitter. Twitter is a one-way portal to you. We can't actually hear your questions. We can't see your questions. So if you'd like to ask us questions, go to trafficcop.ca, and the very first link is the live stream link. I think it's the very first link. Let's have a look. Is it the very first link? Hey, look at that. It's the very first link. I will show you right now. See, first link. If you click that, it goes to the live stream of the day. I try and do my best to make sure it's always updated. Now, there's some other links that I want to draw your attention to. You have the option of signing up for the 4 Driving Skills for Life now, or sign up. Press the button. If you are in the GTA, if you want to come down, it is being held on. You know what? Let me go to the website and I can show you. It's the 19th and 20th. Where's my mouse? My mouse has disappeared. Come on, mouse. Come back to me. There's my mouse. If we go to the training events page, it is right here. Here we go. 19th and 20th of August. There's an AM and there's a PM session. 4 hours of learning to drive, and it's free. Did I mention it's free? Some people mentioned that it was not easy to understand that it was free. last we spoke about it, which was yesterday. So here's the deal. If you would like an opportunity to get some amazing driver instruction, learn about impaired driving, like why it's bad, distracted driving, there's skills building. We'll talk more about it in a little while, but I wanted to make sure I addressed it right off the bat. So here we go. Let's put this back on the screen. And if you missed out and you didn't know who I was, my name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police officer with the Toronto Police Service, and I work at Traffic Services. It's like a theme. We're traffic all the time. It is all about traffic safety, all about traffic law. And I want to make sure, and the reason for me doing this is to make sure that you understand the laws that you're expected to follow. And I didn't mean to press that, but we'll press it again in a second. Stop with that. If you ask questions, we're going to put them on the screen. I do not have a moderator or a producer today, so I'll be in the chat paying attention. And but if you're on TikTok and you want to ask a question, it is often easier to jump over to our YouTube. Just saying. But I will be in the chat paying attention. So do my best. I may have to cut and paste and go into Word. We'll see. Let's see here. We got Big Jeff Fresh who says good morning. And happy FriYAY. We have greetings and salutations from Akela Draconis. AJ the Awesome says good morning, Sean. Just wanted to say sorry for your team's loss. Rest in peace, Bingo. Thanks for this. You know what? Bingo. It's funny. I've been thinking about Bingo a lot. And if you're a parent or if you just like cartoons, Bingo is the sister to Bluey, and Bluey is a major cartoon on the Disney network. But I just hear Bingo all the time. So I mean, Bingo's being in my thoughts. And it's amazing. I was also one of our friends on Twitter blocked but posted a response that someone put online saying that it was just a dog. It's not just a dog. A dog was a cop. A dog sacrificed its life to save its handler, who is a cop. But they're both cops. Anyway, you can have a hero dog. It's not just a dog. I blocked that person without ever having looked at their account aside from the share. I had a quick look. It was not a very friendly account, but yeah, I was offended. Tim Shallow says good morning and happy FriYAY. Logic 101 says good morning. Okay, this is the one that I actually. Akela Draconis now has a channel and has updated uploaded his first video. It's called Agents of Chaos, which is, by the way, what Akela and I often now refer to for people who choose to break the law in traffic scenarios. Big Jeff Fresh says audio is good. Audio is 5x5. Do you find that the audio is the same level? Because I've pumped it up a little bit. I can go a little louder, I suppose, without doing anything. But the whole thing is I want it to be the same level as the intro music, which was good. The intro segment was good. When I listened to, and by the way, did I mention this? Okay, let's go back to, this isn't squirreling. This is just making sure I get all the stuff I want to talk to you about today in. So if we go back to the link tree, if you go to podcast, you'll notice there are two now, where there once was only one. Ask a Traffic Cop. This segment, this live stream, is being published daily now as a podcast. Right afterwards, I download the audio only. I upload it to Anchor, which is now Spotify for podcasters, and the entire episode is available as a daily uploads daily, and you can download it daily on your favorite podcasting app. So if you want to listen to us while you're driving, it won't be live; it'll be a replay, but you can do that. So if you go to your favorite podcasting app, it's on. It's not working on Google right now, but it is on Apple. It is on Spotify. It is on iHeartRadio, the podcasting app. You can get Ask a Traffic Cop replay there, and please do. But you can go to that by linking right there, and I'll update it. I'm trying to figure out why it's not showing. Like, if we click on this, you can see that it shows it's available in multiple places, and it works for the Spotify and Apple podcasters. But if I go to the Google Podcast, it's not publishing. I'm working it out. In any case, we'd love to have you as a replay follower. Mind you, if you're here, you're here. But, many people listen and watch afterwards. FriYAY from Sean Chen coming in to say hello. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. Hang on, Chase. I may have to come meet you. He's going to 808 and Knockout Chicken, and FriYAY is a day to have Knockout Chicken. Tell me what time you're going to Knockout Chicken, and I will try and to meet up with you. This might be an unofficial FriYAY meetup. Okay, seriously, message me in the VoiceOver Cop chat. What VoiceOver Cop chat am I talking about? I created a Telegram group because I'm trying to figure out what the best way for our community to chat. This Discord thing is kind of not working the way I like it to. It's very busy, but maybe Discord is the right thing, and I just need to use it better. But we're playing with Telegram, so there's a Telegram group chat. In any case, Chase, let me know what's going on. Okay, Knockout Chicken. If no one knows what Knockout Chicken is, you haven't been on TikTok long enough. It's in Kensington Market. It is a great place. They have a special all the time, and it's like a chicken sandwich. Chicken wings, chicken thighs or something, and then French fries and a water. It's like $15. They run it all the time. They're really nice people, and I like supporting local business. So I will likely be going there for lunch and meeting Chase. And I have something for Chase that I've been meaning to give him. Okay. Let's see here. King Almighty is quite a big name. What are your thoughts on 5% tint baked into the front glass or side glass? You cannot add tint by way of coating, baking, adhering, anything on the front windows beyond light blockage of 30%, 70% luminescence. You have to have, is it luminescence or I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, light has to get through. 70% of the light has to get through just to get certified. But if you cannot see inside, if I cannot see inside, and I cannot not identify the driver, if I cannot see if you're wearing your seatbelt, using your phone, I can't even come close to knowing what is behind the wheel, well, that's a problem, and you're going to get charged. In fact, if it's so dark that I can't see it, that I believe it is over the 30% threshold, to the 70%, less than 70% letting getting through, I'm going to pull your license plates. I'm going to say it's an unsafe motor vehicle, and you're going to get towed where you're going next because you're not driving. So it's unsafe. Our eyes use light. If I turned out the lights, hey, look at this. Here's what happens when you heavily tint your windows. You see less. You're right now being, I am only, you can't see anything. Instagram can see because the camera lit. I have the correction set up so that it's, anyway, the main camera doesn't adjust for lighting, which means, you see nothing. That was my lesson on tint. Less light means you see nothing. I don't know what Q is talking about. Which post did you see, Q? Okay. And Sean says, oh my God, hi Q. Good morning and happy FriYAY. Happy FriYAY to you too. Ryan H has a question from YouTube. Good morning. My question is it illegal to go too slow? Let's say the speed limit is 100 and the person's going 60. Is that considered obstructing traffic? When are they able to go, when they are able to go 100? It depends. 60 to 100 zone, I think, is unreasonably slow. If they're staying to the right, is better than if they're in the left, which is a big problem. But if they are in the right lane, is 40 under the speed limit legal? Depends. If it's icy, slippery, gravelly, there's a flock of seagulls feeding in front of them. Like, if there's a reason to go slow, it could be justifiable. If it's just because you don't like going fast, don't be on the highway. That would be the advice. That would be the situation. Where'd my water go? I thought I had water. I have a little bit of coffee left. We'll live on that. Let's see here. What's going on? Okay, so what would it be impeding traffic? Well, absolutely. If people are trying to get around them, it would be impeding traffic. And there is a charge under the Highway Traffic Act called unnecessary slow driving. So there's a thing there. There's a reason to go closer to the speed limit to be safe. Now, if your vehicle is not functioning properly, that's not a reason to go slow. That's a reason to pull over to the side of the road, that your vehicle is disabled. Get a tow truck. Okay. Moody. Who has the right of way? Cars turning left on a green to a 3-lane street, or the cars turning right on a red turning into your lane. So it's a 3-lane street. So you've got 3 lanes in either direction. So it's really a 6-lane street. Because I don't know any street that has only 3 lanes, or very rare. But the deal is that the vehicle turning left on a green is crossing traffic, so they have to ensure that they can go safely. But they'd be going into a different lane than the person turning right, because you're both obligated to go into the correct lane. So let's say the person turning left is turning into the leftmost lane when they make their turn. The person making the right turn is coming from the curb lane into the curb lane. They're never going to meet each other unless someone's breaking the law. So there's more to turning into. No one should turn into your lane. Your paths should never cross. Once you are in the new on the new street, then you can make lane changes, but you can't just turn into the lane you want to go to. AJ the Awesome, the Daily Listeners Group. Haha, always good to see the same names. We have a great community. We have a lot of people who come in here every single day. Okay. I smell cannabis on the road. Who can I inform it to, especially when you can see the driver smoking as well? If you see a driver and you believe that driver is under the influence or smoking or drinking a beverage or substance, smoking a substance, drinking a beverage, that is illegal. That is alcohol. That is, drinking and driving or driving while under the influence. Call the police. Give them the information. That's a call. It is illegal to consume cannabis while driving. It is illegal to consume cannabis in a motor vehicle, even if you're not driving, even if you're parked, even if you're on private property. Tim Shello says the audio is great today. Good. Awesome. Let's see here. AJ the Awesome was at a car meet and someone scratched my car while leaning on it. Can I just put a sign on it saying video monitored by police just to scare them away? You can certainly say anything you like. It wouldn't make it true, but the deal is that's the risk of going out and putting your car anywhere. And we should bubble wrap our cars all the time. But have you seen the videos where people are leaning on other people's cars? There's one guy with a purple Corvette that he puts videos up on TikTok, and he starts his car remotely to freak people out. But the audacity of someone who is willing to touch your stuff is really annoying. Really, 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 really annoying. Hey, it's not annoying? Winning the lottery. Now, I don't have a lottery per se. I guess it is a lottery. Is it a lottery? There's a prize. If you want to buy a ticket and increase your odds of winning, because you can't win if you don't buy a ticket, a 2022 Harley-Davidson Touring Street Glide, go to harleyraffle.ca, and when you go there, you can buy tickets. They're only it's just under 5 days. So 4 days, 22 hours, 41 minutes, and 31 seconds. One ticket for 20, 3 for 50. Is it 8 for 100? That's what I bought. That's a good deal. Now, not only are you supporting or increasing your odds of winning, because you can't win if you don't own or buy a ticket, but you're supporting Special Olympics Ontario. And they're an amazing group of people. They're athletes who are competing, who are doing great things. And I think it's a charity worthy of supporting. Okay. You can, by the way, get links to that if you remember trafficcop.ca, but you forget harleyraffle.ca. Neither are hard to remember. They're both fairly simple. However, they're both available to you. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Spencer Down. Let's see here. What's Spencer asking about? And by the way, I've been totally neglecting the folks here on TikTok. My apologies. I'm going to scroll back and have a look. Okay, Spencer Down. Hey there. I wanted to ask what components I legally need on my car's exhaust system, like to make it sound better, but also legal. Here's the deal. Your exhaust system, the way it came from the factory, is pretty much what you need on your car. Nothing else is needed. You cannot take out the muffler. You cannot take out a resonator. You cannot take out your catalytic converters. Those are all required pieces of equipment. You can, however, upgrade to higher flow cats. You can upgrade to a different muffler that meets the requirements under the HTA. You can upgrade your resonator, I suppose. But people change things to change things. Why? What are you getting by changing it? Is it because you want to make more noise? You want to make it sound better? Very often that comes with a ticket. Like the vehicle is designed to run optimally as is, meeting the requirements under law. Okay, maybe not optimally. Maybe you can make it go faster. But then you change things and draw attention to yourself, and suddenly we're having conversations roadside, and you might be getting tickets. Let's see here. Okay. What is this? What happens next if you're caught stunt driving on the highway? The ticket is $500. I don't know where you are. That's $500. Stunt driving is a no set fine in Ontario, which means You get a ticket, you're given a court date to attend, and then you are given the case, or you can ask for disclosure. You get some disclosure without any special request, but it comes with a $2,000 to $10,000 fine, not a $500 ticket. It's $2,000 to $10,000 on your first conviction. You get an immediate 14-day impound and 30-day suspension on your license. So 14-day impound on your vehicle gets towed away into a police secure lot, and then or a contract tow secure lot. You can't get it out. And then your license is gone for 30 days, and that's only like roadside. $2,000 to $10,000 in court. If you're convicted, up to 6 months in jail. I think it's 6 months in jail as well. I keep confusing. It's definitely part of the insurance thing, and I can't remember. Can I remember? I don't know. It's one of these things that I forget if this includes the 6 months in jail option. I think it does. Let's have a look. Let's confirm. Yeah, up to 6 months in jail. And then also, a first conviction comes with a suspension of not less than 1 year, not more than 3 years. A second conviction has a 3 year, not less than 3 years, and not more than 10 years suspension. And on a third conviction, it's a lifetime ban on driving. So, yeah, that's what happens. Boom, boom, boom. So follow up on the people leaning on your car. AJ the Awesome gets mad because he worked so hard to buy it and people just lean on it. Once you got a guy talking to girls pretending he owned the car. Yes, pressing the key does stop that. It's sad, but this is the problem. Like, you can park far away and then not have it be involved in the action. Maybe that's the way to do it. Can I still drive? Let's see here. Can I still drive slower than 100 on the highway with hazards on if I use my spare tire? Tire max speed is about 80 kilometers an hour for safety. Stay to the right and get off the highway. It's not a spare tire is not a drive for a week situation. It is a limp mode directly to get your vehicle repaired. If there's nowhere to get it repaired that night, it's limp mode home, not using the highway, or staying to the right, doing what you can do for safety. Make sure that it's your rear tire, not your front. Even if you you don't want a spare tire if it's not a full size, like a donut. You don't want that in the front. In the front, it's a turning issue. Let me see. Okay. Logan can't make it in. I threw an invite out to Logan last minute to see if he could pop in, but he's not at work today. No fun, mind you. You could do it from home, but just saying. Okay. Changing lanes on the highway. Who has the right of way if there's a car? What is this? This is the same question again. Changing lanes on the Changing lanes on the highway. Who has the right if there is a car changing from left lane and the other lane from the right? Here's the deal. Everyone's responsible to change lanes in safety. You need to make sure you can complete your move in safety before you even start it. Now, whoever is in the lane owns the lane. If you're changing lanes into it, you're responsible. If you started to change lanes first, you have more of a right to it than the next person. So if someone changes late, well, that's a problem. Dash cameras really come into play, because otherwise it's going to be one driver says one thing, another driver says the other thing, and without an independent piece of evidence like dash camera footage, there's not really much to support your claims that you had any right of way. But I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. If I'm not, if we're talking about two people moving into the center lane, I think that's what you were talking about. That's what I was trying to describe. Okay. If you got a 5-year driving suspension, would you have to restart after G1? I don't know. If you have an expired license for 5 years, I think it's not until 10 years that you have to start again. But we'd have to look that up, because there is such a thing as at 3 years, I think you need an eye test. At 5 years, you need, and it goes up. And I think at 10 years, you start again. But I don't know for certain. AJ the Awesome says, at one point, I saw someone doing 110 on a spare donut and swear it was flat. Yeah. People do the darndest things when they don't understand how things are supposed to be done. Let's have a look at Instagram, because I've been ignoring them. Railhorn wants to know, can I drive a small Jeep that holds 1 gallon of gas and goes 50 kilometers an hour without a license? No. That is a motor vehicle, but it's not legal for the road. A small Jeep, you're talking about the go-karts, not okay. They are not street legal. They are toys for private property only. Jake here wants to know, going through stop sign on bicycle, do points come off the driver's license? No, they don't. Although that cyclists are required to follow all the rules, or almost all the rules of the HDA. For instance, speeding doesn't apply on the road to a cyclist, but it does to a motorcyclist. Motor vehicle, not motor vehicle. So do the points come off? I've heard stories, and they are stories, where a cyclist got a ticket and it came off their driver's license. Possibly when we had paper tickets, they forgot to tick the box that said not involving a motor vehicle. But they're all electronic now. A cyclist is put into our entities box as a cyclist, and as such, there's no points that would be applied to the driver's license. And if it did, you could apply to have them removed, because that's what happened in yesteryear. Okay. I want to play something for you, which is going to give me an opportunity to stand up and get a bottle of water, because now I decided I need the bottle of water. Let me hit this button. Let me go to video storage. I want to know what your opinion is on this video, if you missed it. And if you're seeing it twice, then, oh, okay.
They all said I stopped, the light had been red for 2.3 seconds, and that I proceeded to turn and go through the intersection at 4 seconds. What? Y'all trying to charge me $325? No, sir. No, sir. We going to court, y'all.
Hi, police officer here. I just thought I'd take the opportunity to explain how red lights work. If you come across a red light, it means stop. If you want to make a right turn at a red light, you must stop first. And then if it's safe to do so, you can proceed and make your right turn, assuming there's no sign prohibiting it. And that's really it. If you got a ticket, well, you probably didn't stop, whether it be completely or otherwise. Like there's only one kind of stop, actually. It's a stop. If you didn't stop, or you stopped in the wrong place past that stop bar, well, you ran the light. And that's why you got a $325 ticket. Yeah. Yeah. I was shocked to see all the responses online. The comments were amazing. Water is amazing. But I was shocked that some people thought that I was being condescending, not that they didn't see the humor in what I was doing there. But you know what? If I was condescending and it offended people, maybe they wake up to the fact that stop means stop. College campus or on the road, stop means stop. Yeah. Okay, back to stuff. Much better with water. Thank you for allowing for that brief moment of refreshment. All right. I'm going to see, 905 ATM just got back to Ontario from PEI. Awesome. Welcome back. Radek says, good morning. Here's a question regarding the motor squad. Does the motorcycle squad within the Toronto Police Service exclusively focus on traffic-related matters, or can any police officer capable of operating a motorcycle use them? Well, that's a good question. Once upon a time, motorcycles were in every division in the city. And then things changed. People were getting into collisions. They weren't regular riders. They'd taken a course and qualified, but that was the last time they were on a bike. And then they'd occasionally go have some fun and do some enforcement, or you wouldn't use a motorcycle for emergency response, because generally speaking, you had nowhere to put a prisoner. And most of the time you riding with two people. So it was generally a traffic detailed or a traffic specific vehicle. But I don't remember what year it was, but all the bikes came back to traffic services. And unless you were a member of traffic services and specifically detailed to the motor squad, you couldn't ride anymore. And then if you wanted to come back and ride, even though if you were being qualified, a new course with a higher standard was developed, and only those who had passed that course could ride. So even though I was qualified years and years ago, I had to re-qualify as a motorcycle officer through the new course. Instead of I think it was if you were a full M licensed rider, you got a 4-day course. If you were a learner, you got an 8-day course. So I did the 4-day course, and then it was a 2-week course, way more detailed. And then that was to get a level 1. And if I didn't show you the coin, or if you didn't see the coin, when you finish your level 1, you would get one of these. Actually, originally I got a coin from Harley Davidson and the Ontario Police College, but we made our own level 1 coin because we started teaching the course. Level 1 is a basic operator course, point-to-point destination riding. Level 2 becomes a high-speed course, a tactical course, and then level 3 is an escort course for taking dignitary escorts and things like that. So there are multiple courses available now, and you can't be involved in the duty that unless you're qualified for it. I said duty. All right, scrolling down. Also looking into TikTok. So a quick look into TikTok says I've been ignoring Emma and Kat Harrison, who said hello, and Master Technician says hello from Jane and Finch, and Neha, and Kevin 04. Oh, Kev from Court PTS. Hello. I see your mug there. Let's see here. Hello from Collingwood, and Dawson says hello. Neha says amazing audio. So I think we found our new setting. I'm going to I've got my clicky labeler. I like my old school label maker. This is I really prefer that over the electric ones. We'll make a label together in a second. Gordon says it sounds good. Okay, good. Oh, finesse that guy, says a waste of taxpayer money. Oh, okay. He's a gamer and a finesse content creator, and he streams on Kick. Okay. But he doesn't want to be here, so why is he here? Let's see. Mute that person. I usually have a whole spiel about taxpayer money and that, but I'm not in the mood for it. It's FriYAY. We should be celebrating. Okay. Let's see who else is talking here. Jochin Solvang says, dumb question, although it's not a dumb question because no question is dumb. How hard is the police academy in Canada? Living in Norway now, and I'm interested. Well, we are hiring. And I'll talk about hiring in just 1 second because that's something we talk about every single time we're here. But the deal is that it is hard. It's not an easy process, but it's a worthwhile one. Training to prepare for it, training and continuing your fitness, and then the academic testing and the tactical and firearms and self-defense. And I loved every second of it. The eggs were a little much, but I loved every second of it. I say the eggs because there's a running joke about eggs being the primary source of nutrients at the police college. Eggs with everything. But it's not a dumb question, and definitely check out, let me put it on screen. Excuse me. Putting it on screen now. Here we go. Toronto Police Service, and I can press this button for you and give you a little website on the screen, www.tps.ca/careers, or go to trafficcop.ca, and I have links to the same, and along with a whole bunch of other things. And what do? Well, you go to the website and you scroll around and look at police constable, and all the requirements of just getting hired are here. It doesn't really talk about your experience once you're hired. And maybe we do an interview with a new recruit that can walk us through what their life was like going to the police college. I think that would make for a really interesting interview. But everything that you need to know about getting hired initially is available right here. Now, if we go back, I can check out or show you some other things. For those of you who don't want to be police officers, we have special constables. They're civilians, slightly different role. We have 3 different streams, although they're cross-trained now. Court officer, which is what I started out as. Then you've got a station duty, not station duty, my apologies, booker. They assist at the station. I don't want that. No. How do I stop this? I have to ignore the call. Hold on. Where's my mouse? This is live TV, folks. Okay. Then parking enforcement officer, then communications operator, and the parking officer. The name is pretty self-explanatory. Like it just works. That's what they do. They keep our city moving. People make fun of the job. They belittle it. They say it's not important. They are so important. They are so important because without them, could you imagine we're selfish people who just leave their vehicles all over the place, and then how would anyone get anywhere? A lot of our laws, a lot of our problems are selfish people-based. or respond to selfish people. Communications operator, those are the magical folks who answer the telephone when you call 911. They're call takers, and they work two different sides of the house, call takers and dispatchers. Same people doing different roles, rotating, and you could be in that role, and that is a challenging role. That is a lot going on there. And then there's civilian opportunities. And still, I wonder if it's the same positions. Job evaluation consultant, SQL server database administrator, corporate buyer, senior analyst, senior programmer, senior technical analyst, solutions architect, communications operator. There are a lot of ways to support your community, even if you don't want to put a uniform on, even if you don't want to be the person going out and responding to 911 calls. Lots of different ways to be amazing. And they are valued members of our service, and you could be one of those valued members too. Let's see here. We've got, and just a quick thing for anyone who's watching and who goes, who's this guy babbling on about becoming a member of the Toronto Police Service? My name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a police officer with the Toronto Police Service. I talk about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff every single day, even when I'm not at work. It's part of my life. It's part of who I am. Okay. Yeah, you can go to trafficcop.ca to get links to everything. Everything. Let's have a look. No. Everyone wants to talk to me when I'm going live. Why? I don't know. But everyone does it. It's if I'm not live, no one calls. Okay. Oh, hang on a second. Okay. Going back, so many places to look. You when this all started, I used to do all the live streaming by one telephone. TikTok would blow up. It was 40,000 people in one room, and it was the maximum we ever had in one chat. Regularly, 2,500 people in the stream at any given time. It's a lot slower now. The algorithm is actually giving us a break, which is good because it's harder to go in deep with all of the questions we have when we have so many people, all who want answers. But here we go. I'm going to keep trying. Now, by the way, at 11 o'clock, we will start to shut down. In other words, I won't be taking new questions, but I'll try and finish off all the questions that are in queue. And that means it might go longer. It might be 20, 30 minutes after the 11 o'clock cutoff till we actually shut the live stream down. Just want to set expectations. AJ the Awesome says, I'm ready to party hard this weekend, which equates to staying at home, watching Netflix, and doing nothing. Listen, winding down, taking care of yourself in terms of just recovering, it's important. I will do as little as possible this weekend because I'm tired. We're in camp mode, and my regular routine has changed a little bit. So my drive to work is 2 hours now, and my drive home is 2 hours. So I'm catching up on ebooks in a big like audiobooks. Yes. What are you guys listening to when it comes to audiobooks? I'm listening to some Gary V books. Which I think Crushing It is the one I just finished this morning. Okay. Oh. Let's see here. Chips. Wait, chips what? States. Wow. Okay. I don't know. Oh, I see. I think. Okay. I'm going too deep into some of these questions. They're not questions. They're comments. It's dialogue. I've imported a Jeep from India. Can I drive it? If it's a motor vehicle that is legally in the country and legally safe for the road, like it's got a VIN, it's being certified for the road, then yes. If it's a miniature toy that happens to be powered by a gas engine, then no. It has to have a VIN, it has to be plated, and it has to be insured. Okay. What is this? Talking about evictions. Evictions aren't my forte. We can't talk about that. Okay. So in relation to the statement about taxpayer money. So Radek says, I'm a Police Foundation student. Watching this stream before my classes or work is like getting a free education. I have a 90% average. This has only helped me in my program. I'm really happy to hear that. It's amazing. Yeah, it's really cool. It is great to see. I've had such positive feedback, and I speak at different colleges and universities, and now my father's calling me. Everybody calls when I am live streaming because nobody knows my schedule that is published on every social media platform. Yeah. How slow can you go on the highway? We've talked about that. Someone on YouTube has some issues with flatulence. That's good to know. Okay. Moving on. Akela, what is this? Okay. They use the same ringtone at Akela's office. And in terms of audiobooks, Akela's listening to Star Wars audiobooks. Comedy specials, okay. Johnny Nguyen, how you doing? Okay, we got late to the party, but here nonetheless. Are right-hand cars legal in Canada? They are. If it has no marker lights, no signals, you'd have to use a hand signal, but you also have to have a placard on the back that explains that the driver is on the right side. So it says it must say right-hand drive vehicle. If it doesn't have signals that function, older vehicles, classic vehicles may not. But when it comes to modern right-hand drive vehicles, I think you have to be 15 years old before you can import them, and then you can have them. And you don't need the placard if it's a modern vehicle. Okay, I'm going to focus. I'm ignoring all the other platforms for a bit. I'm going to focus on TikTok because you guys have been getting the short end today because the producer has not been producing because they are not here. Okay, Rip Bingo. We have here Bluey and Bingo. Yeah, we got. Was it Neha said that? Okay, C-Real says hello from Calgary, Alberta. I hope you're still in the room to hear this because I'm, like I said, late to the party. GM, good morning. Good, my car got stolen, then gets a red light ticket. How do I address this? Well, if your car was stolen and you put in a police report, you would have the context to appeal that. Okay. Lane splitting legal in Canada? That's the question. The answer is no. Lane splitting is not legal anywhere in Canada. It's careless driving. It could be stunt driving. Could even be criminal dangerous, depending on what the officer makes an observation of. Okay. If I was to get caught speeding in Canada on a foreign language, I think you mean license. Would it affect my license? Yes. Well, listen, it's up to your country, your home country, your home government governing body to determine what they would do to you when you were back home. But we would file the report. It would be available. Most countries, with the age of the internet, do communicate. Depends on where you are. But for instance, if you were suspended here, most countries will consider you suspended there too. Depends. It depends. That's a question for your own agency. But if you're an American and you get a ticket here, points go on your license and vice versa. If you amongst all the provinces and every country that touches us by land is now communicating with us. I would imagine it would be international too. Backing from a setback stop line, am I required to back up? I don't understand your question. Does this mean if you've stopped in the wrong place past the stop bar, you're required to stop to back up? You've already broken the rule. You're in a bad place already. How many stunts did Vision Zero get yesterday? That is a very specific question to which I will make effort to get you an answer. Let's see here. I'm opening another browser. Hopefully this does not mess up my live stream. But it might lag. Oh, it's causing some lag, possibly, maybe. Let's see what happens. I'm willing to find out. Where is it? Here we go. It's a big app, so it might take a while and it might really mess up the live stream. But like I said, we're going to try it. We'll come back to that. How many tickets did they get yesterday? It may not even show me yesterday, but at the very least, it'll show me last week. So we'll get you some level of an answer there. Urban Nietzsche says, that's awesome. I don't know what, this is going back a while, so I don't know what it was in context to or what the context is. Men's Health and Fitness says, what happens if you get caught street racing on the highway? Well, street racing is stunt driving, so we take your cars for 14 days and suspend your license for 30. Then the consequences are, on the first conviction, $2,000 to $10,000 and up to 6 months in jail, and a 1 to 3 year suspension on conviction. Toxic Monkey wants to know if it's true that cops gave you a ticket for having a rich car. No, we ticket people who are violating the law. The ticket number is based on the set fine if you're in a set fine range. If you are in a no set fine, it's up to the courts as to what they do. But there's a range. Like, for instance, stunt driving is $2,000 to $10,000. That's up to the courts to determine. If they think that you aren't getting the hint, like they give you $2,000 fine the first time and you do it again, maybe they give you $10,000 the next time. That's up to them. Nia says that, she says, "Welp, now I'm hungry." Okay. Zach Frechette wants to know about tint. Is it just the back windows or just the front? You can be as dark as you want on the back windows. If you go to our FAQ page, on TikTok, the FAQ playlist, I've got tint video there. It explains the back window can be absolutely opaque. The rear passenger can be absolutely opaque. You don't have to have windows there. What if you had a cargo van, solid walls? The windows directly left and right of the driver can have no more than 30% light blockage to be legal for the road, and nothing on the windshield. When you're talking about offenses that you could be charged with, well, that's separate, because you can also be charged, even if it's safe for the road, it meets the 30% threshold. That doesn't mean that it's, if we can't, what it means is it's safe for the road, but if we can't see the driver, we can't identify the driver, we can't see if you're wearing a seatbelt, that sort of thing, it's still a $110 ticket for obscuring the interior of your motor vehicle. And let's say on a sunny day I can see in, but on a dark night I can't. Well, it's the dark night that will get you a ticket, because you can't obscure the interior of your motor vehicle. So it's sucking and blowing. You got both at the same time, right? It's legal for the road, but it's not legal for the road. Tint is just generally not a good idea. Okay, but Tracy was already on that. Someone says, "What's with people in tint? Grow up." Tint is a legit thing if done properly. Tint, if you're trying to reduce solar load in your vehicle, it makes sense. I can appreciate tint. I used to tint my vehicles legally, but I used to tint them. I don't anymore because I don't care about my vehicles. There's something I use to get from point A to point B. I don't want to put 10 cents into it. In fact, as soon as it wants to cost me money, I start thinking about buying a new one. It's just, it's no longer something that is part of my identity like it was when I was in high school. And that's not to be offensive. It's just the truth. I used to really be passionate about audio systems, and, my car was an extension of me. Now, listen, my first car was a 1986 Buick Park Avenue. Doing stuff to customize that would have been trying to make mom's old car be less mom's old car. So I get it. Nowadays, people are buying brand new, beautiful cars that have millions of dollars of research on, involved in making that car, and then spend money to essentially break it and make it less functional, but it looks cool. Okay, moving on. I've seen cars that come with a blue hue front windshield that comes from factory. Is that legal? If the vehicle is being sold in Ontario and that's how it's coming from factory and it's baked into the glass as part of the approved equipment, then it would be legal as far as I know. It's not an aftermarket thing. If you buy it, if the vehicle ships with a clear glass and then the dealer puts some tint on it for you, that's illegal. How about going back to true blue uniforms rather than that badass black? This is dark navy. It looks black, but it's apparently dark navy. I don't mind the light blue. I was an auxiliary and a court officer for many years, and light blue is what we wore, and it's much more comfortable in the sun. What is this? Oh, Enrique says that we're in the business of stealing in the name of safety. No, Enrique, we're all about holding drivers who choose to break the law and put lives at risk accountable. So if you get tickets, it's because you chose to do stupid stuff on the road. It's got nothing to do with stealing. It's got nothing to do with taxing people. It's got nothing to do with making money for the government. Enforcement actually costs more than any benefit. The cost of turning the lights on in court, the court, staffing the courts. There is so much money spent, and the goal is to hold drivers accountable. You know what? If you don't like police, if you don't want police to be happy, don't break the law, because then we've got nothing to do. We would much rather be ticketing and feeling good about the ticketing we do to change driver behavior. But if you don't break the law, then we're frustrated looking for people to find to ticket. I think I'm going to do a video on that after the live stream. If you don't like a cop, follow the law. Frustrates us. Hello from Kitchener, Diane. Somebody says, Enrique, why are you here? Oh, that's fantastic. Let's see here. Bulldog Rick. I used to be a commercial enforcement officer out west, and we used to get the drivers to pull the tint. Oh, it got cut off. I want to know what the rest Bulldog Rick has to say. Okay. Good morning from Windsor. Does the seatbelt have to lock when a child is in a booster? No, a booster doesn't require lockout. Lockout is for a child seat because the child seat. Okay, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, when you install a child restraint into a motor vehicle, you're using the seat belt to lock the seat into position. So you lock it out. The ratchet system, the shoulder strap, when you pull it all the way, engages a lock system, and then there's no movement. You can't do that for a passenger. If there's actually a person in the car and the seatbelt's against the person as opposed to the seat, you wouldn't want it like that. But what's actually against the body when you use the locked out seatbelt is a separate shoulder strap system specific to the car seat. When you're in a booster, now it's the same as if you had a passenger in the seat. The booster is just to change their physical riding position. No lockout. Long and the short of it is no lockout. Country and City Kid says there's not enough enforcement. You are absolutely right. We'd love to have more enforcement. We need more people. So apply if you're interested in becoming a police officer. We definitely need more enforcement. Is the speed limit higher in the far left lane on the 401? No, it's not. It's the same speed limit on every lane. The posted speed limit of 100 or 110, depending on where you are. That's the speed limit. Country and City Kid says it used to be an honorable profession. It's still an honorable profession. I think everything just scrolled up on me. Are real butterfly knives illegal? Balisongs. Yes, they're absolutely prohibited. They are prohibited weapons under the Criminal Code of Canada, same as having a switchblade. You will get charged and have bad things happen if you have a balisong, as well as or a switchblade or Cayuga baton. Those are specifically listed as prohibited items in the Criminal Code of Canada. Scrolling back here. What should you do if you get a stunt driving ticket? You should rethink your choices because you got a stunt driving ticket because you've done something. You should go and get some legal advice. Scrambler mode. What are we talking about here? Are we talking about radar? So radar detectors or laser detectors or jammers or any kind of device that would impact the police or the ability for the police to measure your speed and enforce speed limits is prohibited in the province of Ontario. So, is no good. Not only do you get a $170 ticket and three demerit points, but you also you lose the device that's seized, and if just believing you have it in the vehicle gives us the authority to search your vehicle in order to find it. So it's a big thing. Okay. Oh, 8 more minutes. Okay, so to add things loaded up here on my Vision Zero board. So you wanted to know how many Vision Zero priority offenses. What was it? Was it specific to handheld communication? Which one? Which offense was it? Let's see here. But I can tell you that this year, as I have to lean in for the tiny screen, I have multiple monitors here. So we've had a total of 816 stunt driving charges this year. Was it stunt driving specifically you were asking about? If you're still in the room, please let me know. Let's see here. In terms of speeding, I don't have a specific for stunt driving, but in the last week that ended on the 22nd, we had 1,395 speeding tickets, 1,126 aggressive driving tickets, 221 distracted driving tickets. Those are specific to cell phones, not careless driving. Those are specifically cell phones, handheld communication devices, screens visible to driver, that sort of thing. So lots of tickets. Ticket. That right now, year to date, it looks like we've got 145,000 tickets, over 145,000 tickets, but ones that fall into the big 4 category, 83,000. It's wild. Wild that there's so many people willing to put others' lives at risk because they're selfish, or they're in a rush, or they need to pee, or they late for work, or whatever excuse people want to use to justify their actions and break the law. Yeah, it doesn't work. People ask, do excuses work? When you get pulled over, do excuses work? And the answer is sometimes, but usually not. I had someone who needed to go to the bathroom. We went to the closest bathroom. He used it, and he came out of the bathroom and got his tickets. Hello from Guelph. Hello from Toronto A. Let's see here. So the discussion about, further discussion about radar equipment or detectors, it's illegal to buy, sell, transport, possess, use. Like if you were to find someone who was selling them, we'd happily charge them. I have my license in Ontario, and I'm going to drive. Going on vacation to Mexico, can I drive there? Yes, they will accept your Ontario license if you want to rent a vehicle. I would be very cautious about renting a vehicle, and I mean this with all sincerity, not insincerity. I've heard horror stories about people who rent jet skis, and I know you're asking about motor vehicles, but jet skis, and then they get into a crash, and because there's no insurance, they're held like for ransom. And this is worst case scenario, but I heard these horror stories about people going there, having someone held until they get the money to repair these vehicles. If you're going to rent from a big brand name rental place, that make sure your insurance covers them. Ask all the questions. Do not skimp out on insurance if you're going to drive in another country, not just Mexico, but Mexico has a bad reputation for for people possibly kidnapping you if you owe them money. Just saying. Google your own stuff. I'm just telling you stories that I've seen online. Let's see here. Do your traffic offenses get deleted off your record at some point? Your full-time record, stuff that the police can see, the government can see? No, forever. The stuff that insurance companies can see, after 3 years, your convictions are no longer accessible to them. But if you went to go order your lifetime, your abstract, you can get a full abstract, and you can get it. And some companies or employers will ask you to supply that in order for you to be hired, a condition of employment. You'd need to get it and show them the whole thing, or they won't hire you. How long can I keep my PEI registered car in Ontario if I have an address in both Ontario and PEI? Where's your primary residence? If you're a resident of Ontario, Ontario says you have to transfer registration after 30 days, and your license within 60, which makes no sense. It should be the same. But anyway, but if you are truly back and forth, like monthly, well, you're resetting that clock as far as I'm concerned. You're not a permanent resident. You're temporarily a resident. Now, if you're going here for school for 3-6 months, you're a resident according to Ontario, and you would need to change it. I like my PEI plates and not needing a front plate. Looks nicer. I kind of understand, but yeah, it complicates things. Where is your primary residence? That is the question. And if your primary residence is Ontario, you are obligated to change it. Oh, okay. AJ the Awesome asked a question earlier, and I didn't really understand what we were getting. Sorry, my last question had a lot of babble. Babble's what we're all about here. It's all good. Here is the specific. Do we have a sheriff's office is what you're getting at? Yes, we do. Its sheriff's office is not, for arresting people. It's not for enforcing really laws. What they do is they're like the court's bailiff. They do is they'll lock the doors, change the locks, do evictions. They work with the courts. And that's what their job function is. Okay, and a continuation for AJ, who is dominating the chat. I got a parking ticket. I disputed it because there weren't any signs, and he didn't know about the no parking between 2 and 6 a.m. They said it might take 120 days, but the ticket's due on August 6th. If you have already got you filed it, my understanding, and you can clarify with them, is that you don't need to pay it until after you've gone to court or you've already put the ball in motion to have it dealt with. So you shouldn't have to pay it and then deal with it in court. My understanding is you've selected court. Now you don't pay, you wait. But call them, always call them, make sure that they make sure. I don't want you to get in trouble. Parking is not my forte, so I don't want you to be in a situation with a ticket issued by a police officer. You have 15 days to make a decision. Your decision is either pay, choose first appearance, or choose court. And once you've done that, you've changed your path. You don't pay after you've chosen to go to court. You wait. And I assume it's the same for parking. And 905 ATM says, go to court date provided. Say they're concurring. All right. Scrolling. Awesome. Okay. Well, there's a lot of dialogue here. Okay. Aranya, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. If I didn't, please correct me with phonetics. If you hold a full G/M2 and you're over 25, if you get pulled over and blow under the legal limit, are you legal? It depends what you're driving. If you have a full G-class license when you are over, you're 22 and over, then you can have over 0 BAC in the motor vehicle, in a vehicle that is qualified by a G-class license. If, however, you're on a motorcycle and you have an M2, well, that designation takes over and you cannot have any alcohol regardless of your age. You have a 0 BAC requirement when operating a motorcycle. And as 905 ATM says, if you drink, don't drive. And AJ, don't worry about the dialogue. That's what the chat room is for. I'm glad that you guys are talking amongst yourselves. It's good. Okay, going back to TikTok, and it is 11:01, so please, no new questions. I'm going to try and catch up with what we've got in the queue, and then we'll be signing off for the weekend. Let's see here. Oh, Jake here was once told that that they could get charged for driving under suspension when riding a bicycle. That is BS. You cannot be charged for riding a bicycle with a suspended license. In fact, the international suspended driver's vehicle is the bicycle. Lately, it's the e-bike. Now, e-bike doesn't require a license, so you can't get charged for driving without a license. However, if your e-bike is modified and is actually a motor vehicle, then you can get a whole bunch of charges, including driving under suspension. Okay. Oh, yes. So your friend is incorrect about the car side, although it's a common misbelief. There's a lot of people who, and even the ministry has been telling people, and it's wrong. Your learner's designation on a motorcycle does not impact your driving a car. Yeah, it's silly. Okay. Corn Dog 1. Kind of curious. Is the bar in the Toronto police station shut down yet? My understanding is that they have let the license lapse. That's based on information from a news article I read or online, whatever. Even when it was a bar, it wasn't a bar that was staffed 24/7. They had a license, and occasionally when they had events, they would have a bartender come in to hold the event, and it was like a cocktail party type thing, because they were hosting dignitaries or doing some kind of, but it was never an all the time people going, and so misconstrued. I went there once, and I had a Diet Coke. Okay. I went there once because it was a thank you thing for Cops for Cancer. They had the committee there, so a long time ago. Mandy says, you would be such a great radio talk show host. Your voice is great. Thank you, Mandy. Much appreciated. I guest on the radio all the time, but who knows? When I retire, maybe they'll throw a radio show at me, and I will say, of course, yes, because apparently I like the sound of my voice. No, thanks very much, Mandy. I appreciate it. Let's see here. What we got? Rocky Mountain something. I can't. We're talking. This is more dialogue. What is with the family feud between police and fire? There isn't one here. There may be one elsewhere. In the States, it's possible. With NYPD and all the TV shows, I think it's just drama for drama's sake. But here, we're partners in crime. We're going and going to do the same thing. Partners in crime is probably the wrong way to describe it, but. They go to a collision scene with us where they're shutting down roads. They're making our lives better. They're extracting people and helping them when we're at scenes. But the deal is that the fire department has people that run into burning buildings to save them, and I appreciate them. They also cook amazing food. We may make fun of each other when it comes to, the fact that they get to have sleepovers and nap time on a regular case. But I don't want their job. I don't want to run up 500 flights of stairs with a hose, and they likely don't want to run towards the sound of gunfire. So. Yeah, we are good. We cover each other off. We do different things, and we appreciate each other, 100%. When is the police calendar coming? I don't think that anyone wants to see a police calendar. Let's see here. Chris Miller. What do we have here? Chris Miller says, I said, wait, it's 11:05. Any questions coming in? It's supposed to be tomorrow, but I selected it, so we're going to keep going. So, Sean, I'm sitting at the stop line. The large truck turning left is now in my lane. Am I required to back up? Other tractor trailer unit can make this true with no problems. This better explain. Here's the deal. Are you required to back up? Well, there's no place that I'm aware of that says if someone does something and puts you at risk, you don't have to back up or you do have to back up. Truth is, if you don't back up, traffic's not going anywhere or your vehicle's going to get damaged. So you do what you have to do to get out of the way so you don't get hit, and we all have a better day for it. That's the whole cooperative thing. Regardless of whether or not it's legally required, it just makes sense to do it. So if I can back up to make it possible, whether it be a TTC bus entering the area or making the turn, like I'm just going to make it work safely within reason. Okay. Oh, just no one's just going on and on and on about speed detectors or radar detectors. I'll tell you this. Radar detectors should be illegal everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. There's no reason to have one. Absolutely no reason. All they do is provide the person who has it an opportunity to get a heads up that they need to slow down temporarily. So for like a very short period of time, they take safety into mind. Actually, it's not about safety. It's about not getting caught. So they're safe for a very short period of time, and then they go back to doing the bad stuff they were doing, speeding. And speeding kills. Speeding takes away precious time that you have to respond to changing events in your future. You know, kid walks across the street, car slams on the brakes. Whatever the case is, the faster you're going, the longer it takes you to slow down, the more inertia you have before you, or if you have more inertia. Thus, you have more to slow down, and it means higher likelihood of getting into a collision and more damage and injury when you do get into a collision. Apparently, every 5 kilometers over the speed limit doubles your chance of collision. Yay. Let's see here. Max is ready to order McDonald's and watch sports all weekend after 72-hour week is done. Well, that was like my last week. Actually more than that. I worked like 14 days straight last week. Okay. Max had good advice for the question in relation to what do you do when you get a stunt driving ticket? Is hire a lawyer. Can police give chase? Of course we can give chase. That's why they call it a police chase. Fines or charges for failing to yield to a responding emergency vehicle. I believe it's close to $500, $495 or somewhere in that range. My buddy Brian, he just sent me a text about pedestrians crossing mid-block. Yeah, a lot of people get really hurt doing that. Even though it's not specifically illegal, it's very dangerous. Thomas says, good morning. It is still good morning. If I wrap my car in a different color, do I have to go to the DMV or something? DMV suggests you might be in the United States, and I imagine the rules are the same as they are here. Here, if you significantly change the color of your vehicle, it's 6 days to update, and you can be charged for failing to do so. Lane splitting in Ontario is not legal, but Dave McPherson wanted to know. What is Scooby? Scooby thinks that they... I don't know what they're talking about. All right, I think we're catching up. We're catching up here. Okay. This is a dialogue with Scooby and Emma about illegal versus legal when it comes to, I guess, speed measurement devices or blocking or notification stuff. Are we allowed to pass a garage truck if they're picking up garage? Autocorrect is always funny. Garbage truck, sure you can if it's safe to do so. Garbage trucks don't have special privileges to hold up traffic, but they are servicing stops and they have to do their best to stay out of the way. But I had to pass one a couple days ago. It was, oh my God, it was terrible. Not only was it slowing me down, but it stunk. It was bad. Although I got to say, the guy that was loading garbage, man, you work out. That guy was ripped, shredded. I was impressed. And it makes me want to go to the gym. I'll never look like he was shredded. And there's no way he got that ripped just from throwing garbage in the truck. The man was ripped. Yeah. I felt this is where you feel bad about your life choices. You see someone who is that well built. Yeah. Oh, we're talking about tracks. Okay. What's the latest on how cops are dealing with loud exhausts? We ticket them. We investigate. We find out what violations and whatever is appropriate, either improper exhaust tickets or combinations of unnecessary noise. But we're dealing with it. We're absolutely charging people as we get there. What happens with an officer? This is a corn dog who earlier asked about the bar. What happens when an officer gets charged with a DUI? They get charged criminally. They can't drive a car. They get in trouble at work. We're answerable to two courts. One, the Police Services Act, where we're charged, as well as by the criminal courts, because there's no special privilege for here. Somebody I used to work with got charged. They rode a bicycle. They were on bicycle duty for years as things were going through. It's a big deal. And this isn't a cover up. This isn't the 70s. In the 70s, they may have done that. Everyone's wearing body camera, and no one's going to give no one's going to break the rules and give up their income and their name to cover up for somebody else who made a really stupid decision. Okay. Is it legal to have ear pods while driving? Yes, in Ontario it is. Blue Line Ginger, who happens to be Logan, loves the tint question. I don't know what the tint question was. Wudge? Yeah, I'm making up new words today. Sub-Zero wants to know about banners on the top of the window. Window banners are not legal, not in the windshield. Want to put them on the back window? No problem. As long as you have a clear view to the rear by mirrors, you're okay. Okay. Can I drive my car with windows tinted with a doctor's notice? Not in Ontario. There's no exemption for window tint. You have to follow all the same rules as everybody else. But there is this magical thing that they invented. It makes driving without tint really, really easy to deal with. They're called sunglasses. And I kid, but I don't kid. It really is the solution. Now, if you're talking about skin sensitivity, there are clothing brands that make special, or there's certain clothing brands that make a sun or a UV protectant layer, like the knit, the weave, whatever the material is, protects from the sun. If I'm on a bicycle and run a stop sign, will that go on my driver's abstract? It's a HTA charge, but it doesn't affect your license. At least doesn't give you points. So passing someone legally, and the person you're passing speeds up in order to interfere with your passing, well, that's not lawful. They can get in trouble for that. That would be inappropriate. Trying to think of what the charge is for. And I've had this as a discussion, but I've never laid the charge. And this is where you really, 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 really want a dash camera. By the way, if I've never properly endorsed dash cameras, I can't give you a company to use, but I can tell you that dash cameras as a product line, as a type of item that you can buy, might be the single best investment you can make into protecting yourself in the event of a collision. Doesn't matter what you buy. I don't care if it's a $30 or a $3,000. Whatever it is, protect yourself by having an independent witness called a dash cam, and make sure it's working. And archive your videos on occasion. I use it all the time. You might notice that I put up some dash cam footage. Very often that dash camera footage is my footage because it's awesome. And mine's not a Bluetooth, it's Wi-Fi. So I can park and hit a button and then connect with my phone and download the video. It takes no time at all. It's amazing. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. How much higher can I go than the speed limit without getting a ticket? Legally, nothing. 1 kilometer could get you a ticket if we were so inclined. We're not. 1 or 2 or 3 kilometers an hour is probably safe, but why do that? Just don't go over the speed limit. Set it and forget it. Cruise control for the speed limit. That's what I do. That's how I roll. Literally roll to work. I drive like that. I do the speed limit. Can you explain the second section of the green light law in the HTA regarding... Oh, what's the second section of the green light law regarding HTA? Now I got to look it up. We'll have to come back and do something later. But essentially, the green light is for volunteer fire, and it's a courtesy light, so people will pull over and let them pass, but it's not enforceable, except if the only enforcement surrounding it is someone who's not legally allowed to have it using it. But let me know what you're talking about, Ryan. I'd love to do more content and explain things, but I want to know I'll have to read the section later. Had the speed up. I could not slam brakes to avoid oncoming. Oh, so UNC, this is a follow-up of the person who prevented them from passing. Yeah, in that situation, you're doing something because if you don't do something, you're going to pay for it. But you put yourself at risk anytime you're passing. Like, and if you're passing, how slow was the person going that made you want to pass? Like, were they doing the speed limit and you're passing because you just want to go faster? Yeah, they can't prevent you from passing, but why are you speeding? If they were doing 20 under, then they probably should have let you pass. What's going on with all these car thefts? It's not new. Car thefts have been happening since the beginning of time, or at least the beginning of the invention of motor vehicles. People steal stuff because they're criminals. So we do our best to find them, but we don't do we are not in the prevention of crime business. We educate people that they need to do things to prevent vehicles from being stolen, but we don't sit on streets and protect them. That's private security, And the truth is, and if a criminal wants to get your car, there's no stopping them. You could put it in your bedroom. If they want your car bad enough, they're going to get it. Okay. If I'm on a bicycle and I do a rolling stop at a stop sign, would I get a ticket under the HTA? Yes, because it's not a stop. You're required to stop. In Ontario, there's no Idaho rolling stop business like some places. They want to make it like that. The cycling community would like that to be the case, but it's not the case. So if you roll a stop, you could get charged. Now, if you were simply balancing and rolling slowly, would I give you a ticket? No. If you made a reasonable attempt to stop and ensure that it's safe to proceed, regardless if you put your foot down or not, I don't have a problem with that. But that's not what we talk about when we talk about cyclists not stopping for stop signs. We're talking about people hoofing it through the intersection, not slowing down, making no attempt to be safe. That's the problem. So I may talk about stopping at stop signs. I mean people who are not stopping, I don't care if a cyclist, I personally don't care if a cyclist, comes to a complete stop, balances for 3 seconds and continues. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone who is essentially ensuring that they are making a safe transition and not going out of order, not saying I'm a cyclist and I'm going before the cars. That's baloney. They have to make a stop though, a reasonable stop. But when I do enforcement, or when I used to do enforcement, if there are people who drive at 15, 20 kilometers an hour, cyclists or cars, through red lights and stop signs. They don't make any attempt to stop. And that's the people that I would be focusing my efforts on. Stephen Johnson says, condolences to the Toronto Police Service and the loss of Bingo. Thank you very much. Stan Jensen wants to know if the speed limit is higher in the far left lane of the 401. It's not. 100 in all lanes unless it's 110 in all lanes, but it's all lanes always. Corn Dog is really obsessed about impaired operation. I have no stats for you. I don't know. They want to know how many officers were charged but not convicted with DUIs last year. First off, I don't know how many officers were charged. I don't know how many civilians were charged. I don't know how many were convicted, how many were not convicted. It is the number one litigated charge, period. That means there's a lot of people who do it and a lot of lawyers who are in the profession of getting people out of those things. When am I allowed to have my 1-year-old sit forward facing in my car? Here's the deal. The pros, the doctors, the medical professionals, the child safety specialists say rear facing till 4 years if you can do it. My kids were giants. I'm 6'5". They come to height naturally. I stopped doing origami with their legs to keep them rear facing well before they were 4. They were just way too big. But you should go rear facing as long as humanly possible. The reason is the child's neck is not is very susceptible to damage when their head is heavy and they can't keep it up, and the braking starts happening in a front end collision and their head snap forward, and that's what kills people. Well, children in particular. Rear facing spreads that out over the back of the car seat, and they fare far better in collisions. So rear facing as long as humanly possible. They may not like it, but I got a tip for you. They can figure it out. They may be crying, they may be miserable, but they will be safer, and that's what's important. Okay. I may have missed some stuff. Let's see here. Some things just updated, and I want to we have to shut it down shortly, but I want to, let's see here. Are government cars allowed to have tinted glass? Government cars are allowed to have tinted glass. They can't have illegal tinted glass unless they're deep cover cars. Like undercover cars, you'd never know it's a government car. If they're trying to, we're allowed to break certain laws to embed ourselves with criminal, organizations. So if everybody in the tinted car club that's illegal, it has tinted car club windows, and we could have tinted car club windows too. Yeah. Alex Reed, what's going on? Oh, it's Alex Rad. I thought you were Alex Reed. Hi, Alex Rad. I missed your question about e-bikes. Oh, I don't know how far did this thing just scroll up on me? I know that I've got a magical group of community members here, and you answer a lot of the questions that I miss. So I feel like you're in good hands, chat. That you may not have seen me respond, but I'm sure you did. Got a lot of assistance from the community. Speaking of which, community, can I throw the chat here? Let me see here. I'm jumping out for a second because I want to go into the Telegram and grab the. Here, I can share this link. That's not what I wanted. Oh, I don't want to share this. Hang on, wrong window. Here we go. Copy this. I'll throw this into the chat. This was not just for Gordon. This is for everybody. I created a voiceover group in Telegram to figure out if this is a good, viable thing. If you want to jump in and help testing and stay, in touch, you can jump in there and join us. In fact, I even have the live stream going through Telegram because I figured out that I could do that. I don't know if it's a good thing, but we're trying it. Okay, scrolling back. My way driver once told me you needed to have your G to get the job. That's all I know. What are we talking about? What's the law with driving your parents' car with a G2 but without insurance for short commutes? If you live with your parents, the insurance companies will want to have you on the policy. They could choose to deny your claim if they found out you were doing something that you weren't supposed to do. According to it's their policy. It's not a legal thing. It's their, it's a legal thing, but it's their contract with the registered or insured party. So they may say that anyone who lives with you has to be on the policy. They may not. It's up to them. But better to ask and find out for sure than to make guesses or do things without permission and then have them deny a claim and not replace the car. That would be expensive. Okay. What is this? Can we stop people speeding through small towns? I would love that. Maybe we put speed bumps every 3 inches. Can you imagine? I don't know what the answer is, but maybe more automated enforcement. Legal or not for biker to bike across a sidewalk? A cyclist has to dismount and walk in a crosswalk. They cannot ride a bicycle legally in a crosswalk. Warlock says comedian cops cannot be on TikTok. I'm not a comedian. I might be funny, but I'm not a comedian. Maybe you're suggesting. I don't know. I don't know what you're suggesting. But I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. So if you don't like it, elsewhere. Sir, are you still here? Niha, yeah, I haven't gone anywhere. I'm trying to catch up on the backlog of stuff, but I do have a whole bunch of stuff to do, so I have to go. It'll be a hard end in 8 minutes when I shut down the live, because at 11:30, I will want two things: something to eat, and also I have to create a training video, or at least I have to edit a training video that I filmed already. See, I do a lot of different things here, but we make efforts to give you the best experience possible, and that access to us, to me, to we. I am me, but I speak for we, in many more often than not. Can you be a part-time OPP? Can you be a part-time OPP officer? I'm a farmer, but also want to be a cop. We do work shift work, and one of my friends at Traffic Services, he works 7 days on, 7 days off, and his off time, he is a farmer. He drives all sorts of farm equipment and harvests and things of that nature. As an OPP officer, the schedules are usually 4 days on, 4 days off. I don't know how that'll work I've never been a farmer. I don't know how you can do that. Maybe if you're part-time farmer, like working for somebody else, as opposed to running your own farm, which I imagine is very much a full-time job. Can brake checking someone backfire on you? Yeah, you could be charged criminally. You could be charged for careless or stunt driving. Brake checking is not legal. Don't brake check. And Daniel, as a farmer, well, as a if you leave policing, you can go and be a part-time police officer with the OPP. Yeah. Interesting stuff. I think I'm caught up. If I've not gotten to your question, if I've ignored you in some way, my apologies. I'm always trying to get all the questions. Doesn't always work. Can you get a DUI on a bicycle? No, unless it's an e-bike, then yes. Oh, I just left my own chat. I just went into somebody's live. Okay. I don't. Oh, good morning, sir. This Toronto Police permit to park at Pearson International Airport curbside? I don't know. It's up to, if they're responding to a call, yeah. If they're there for official business, yeah. I don't know what it would be. Yeah, their emergency response, but why would they be there? What's your police rank? Parsa wants to know. I'm a police officer. Police constable is the actual rank. PC. The next up would be sergeant. I am not one of them, but Sergeant Murray Campbell is a sergeant. So is Sergeant Melissa Kulik. You know that because I call him sergeant. But I'm a police constable. I'm a first-class police constable, but I'm a police constable. Robbie says, my friend told me that stop signs with white trim are stoptional. I love that, but it's not true. It's not true. For anyone watching, stop signs are stop signs all the time. They're all white trim, I think. Now I have to go look. Yeah, I got a white trim one right there. Can I renew my G2 if I'm not ready to do my G? Yes, you can, but you have to do your G2 test again. So you don't just, I would just do your G test because that's the next level. And I think they made it easier. They don't duplicate your G2 stuff. But you do have to, you would have to retest your G. Okay. Delivery truck driver can go on the streets with no truck sign. What? Thoughts of the corruption with the RCMP on the ninjas? I don't know anything about that. I don't really follow RCMP stuff. The big news stuff I read, but I'm usually so into what I'm doing, the news elsewhere rarely gets through. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're up to date. I think we're good. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. How come governments start using TikTok again? Is ban ended? We never stopped. We've been on TikTok. Now, federal government, I think they said that no one can use it. Provincial government, they chose their own rules. We're municipal government, and we don't use them. We don't use TikTok on our devices. This is coming through by RTMP stream through a company called Restream. They are taking our feed to them and rebroadcasting it across multiple platforms. How many multiple platforms, you ask? Oh, let's have a look. We are currently broadcasting through the same camera, one camera right there, and it's going through TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Kick, and Twitter, all through Restream. No TikTok involved, obviously, because TikTok is the only one getting the TikTok stream. Anyway, Instagram is the only one in that list that is getting a stream directly from an independent phone, because for some reason, Instagram, and I am calling Instagram out, they haven't given us access to the RTMP, RTMP? I think it's RTMP, stream thing. In the States, everyone's got it. In Canada, we're not special enough to get it. So I have a beef with Instagram. Yeah. Because the day I don't have to turn this phone on in order to get out to Instagram will be the day that I never turn that telephone on again. Or at least, yeah. It is specifically for the purpose. That phone is specifically for the purpose of Instagram. And I would very much like to be able to give the same quality to everybody on all platforms, which is having the widescreen, being able to bring in other video. You know, when we played that video earlier, you saw it, but Instagram, you didn't see it. So that's the thing. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. What do we have? Do I have some dad jokes? I think I do. Let's see here. It is FriYAY, so dad jokes should be a thing on a FriYAY. And it is, I always know I'll have a good time when we go to the beats. It's a sure thing. I didn't read these jokes. This is Thursday's joke. Oh, we got a couple of jokes now. What is the best part about living in Switzerland? I'm not sure, but the flag is a big plus. That one's a groaner. That's not good. Friday the 28th. It's calendar. See, it's today's joke. Mozart was a child prodigy. Serious. He was an A sharp minor. That's so bad. Do we do? Yeah, I think we do. I think we do the Saturday, Sunday jokes now, and then we'll just start with Monday on Monday. Tuesday, I won't be here. What state does the most laundry? This is not bad. Washington. Lizards make great musicians. They really know their scales. I'll give it to them. All right. We are up to date on the dad joke department. Now we've got the traffic song. It's a good song. I'll let you listen to it, and then we'll say goodbye.
Yellow light, red light, green light, go. Driving safely helps the traffic flow. Watch for pedestrians, look out for bikes, and don't drive like a jerk that no one likes. Yellow light, red light, green light, go. Driving safely is the way to go. Put down your cell phone, nobody needs you to text and drive on the DVP. Yellow light, red light, green light, go. Stop at stop signs, look both ways, then go. Seatbelt, save your life indeed. And watch your driving, don't speed. Yellow light, red light, green light, go. Driving safely is the way to go. Don't drink and drive or smoke some weed, because you might go to jail and not get free. Yellow light, red light, green light, go. Driving safely helps the traffic flow.
Hey, I'm still here. Something I said I was going to talk about and then entirely forgot to talk about, and that is Ford Driving Skills for Life. This is an opportunity for you to register for a free training opportunity. When is it being held? Well, it's the 19th and 20th of August. There's sessions in either the AM, so it's 2 sessions on the Saturday, 2 sessions on the Friday. They're 4 hours each, roughly. It's being held at the Toronto Congress Centre. If you would like to register, go to trafficcop.ca. I've got a button there that takes you to their webpage. There are spots available in all of them. Right now, we've got 66 open spots in the morning on Saturday. On the PM is 45 spots. There's 74 on the Sunday morning, 45 on the afternoon Sunday. If you want free training, this includes driving a Mustang. They've got simulations to give you an idea of what it's like to operate a motor vehicle while you're impaired. So they're going to be talking about hazard recognition, vehicle handling using Ford Mustangs, space management and speed management, distracted driving and impaired driving, and that is where we're going to have our officers discussing the rules. They have these goggles that simulate what it's like to see when you're under the influence, and they're going to let people drive cars wearing those goggles. It sounds insane. It really sounds insane. But where can you get training that is going to make you a better driver for free? I don't think there's anywhere. So you should sign up for this. Trafficcop.ca, link there for Driving Skills for Life. Sign up now. And that's it. That's all. I'll be back on Monday, 10 a.m. to do it all over again. Have a great weekend. Drive safe, drive sober, park legally. And if you got questions, if you got comments, you can get to me through trafficcop.ca. There's a send me a message button. But follow us everywhere. Share us with everyone. And as soon as this is done, I'm downloading it and putting it up in a podcast version so you can download it too. We'll drive around listening to it again and again until you get nauseous. Okay. Oh, and Chase, I think, is already registered. And now I got to find out about chicken. Have a good one.